Good morning, good morning, good morning. I hope that everyone is having a great, awesome day. I just wanted to come on like really quickly and excuse the lighting here, and I'm really not quite sure. I'm looking at two things here, but anyway, I hope everyone is doing well. I wanted to come on as briefly as possible this morning. I'm going to be, I think, probably working all weekend, and that's always an awesome thing. But I wanted to come on and give you guys a little bit of Litha Inspiration. And I've got a number of things here, and I kind of ran out of room. But I hope that you guys are going to be celebrating this Litha. I absolutely am. Unfortunately, some of the typical things that we think of doing for this summer solstice, I can't do here in town. I can't have a bonfire. Oops. I can't have a bonfire out back. And which, if I was elsewhere, you guys know I'm a little bit of a firebug, and I would absolutely have a bonfire. And so I'm going to miss that, but there are alternatives that you can do. You don't necessarily have to start a big bonfire out in your yard. Of course, I'm jealous if you have that luxury of doing so, but one very small simple thing that you can do one very small simple thing that you can do is, and very easy to do, is to incorporate colors of the sun for our summer solstice, our longest day of the year, into your everyday life, whether it's orange or red or a bright yellow like I have here. Incorporate colors, maybe add those to your sacred space. That's always a beautiful, beautiful thing to do. And of course, every time I go out to my garden, I have those particular colors, just bright and shining with my nasturtium and my sunflowers. But you could also, another way of doing it, and whichever way works for you, probably for me, I'm going to do both, but you can rise with the sun and watch the sunrise. Or if that's not your cup of tea, you can go right to the sunset and watch and see if you can find some beautiful, wonderful, wonderful colors. You could also, if you have young children at home, or even if you don't, you can make a sun catcher, paint a sun catcher. You can either place it in your sacred space, place it in your garden, or wherever it is that you want to be able to enjoy it. You can also make an incense blend, and again, if you have the luxury of having a bonfire, you can make an incense blend of St. John's wort, some fennel, and some white copal. You can throw that right into the bonfire, or you can burn it as an incense blend into your sacred space, and that's always a wonderful thing to do. But another thing that you can do, and you guys know I have been speaking and sharing with you guys a little bit about working with your chakras. Another thing that you can do is you can charge under the sun your sacral chakra stones, whether it be opal or citrine or amber, and charge them, whether it be just a very large stone, which you guys know I like my large rough stones, but you can charge them under the sun, and once they're fully charged under the sun, bring them in and either wear them if it's jewelry, or use them to work with your solar plexus now that they're charged under the sun. Another thing that I'm going to do, because yes, you know what, if you guys know me, and some guys know me more than others, but I take these holidays, and I'm going to call them holidays, and I like to start celebrating as early as I can and keep celebrating afterwards. So there you go. But I'm absolutely, another thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be making some sun tea. And one of my blends that I'm going to make now, I make, of course, all of my own herbal blends, but one that I'm going to be using is my plantain, my hyssop, and my mint. And I'm going to gather that together, and I'm going to let it sit outside and make myself some sun tea. And it's, not only is it going to be charged under the sun, but it's going to be healthy for my body too. And let's see, what else am I going to do? Oh, another thing I'm going to do today, and this is kind of ahead of time. I have been harvesting, and that's what the summer solstice is all about. Of course, it's about balance. We all know that, and I'm not going to bore you with that because, you can get that anywhere. But one way I'm going to be celebrating, and I have already celebrated. You guys know I've got a large garden. Well, it's actually cut in half this year, but I have a garden. And now my first harvest of my sunflowers, I have thankfully, and I was so happy to give away. I gave it to, and it was a big bundle of sunflowers. And I have a neighbor who is visually impaired. She has, a couple of issues visually, and the bright colors, and I know that's one of the first colors, but because of course you guys know in my mundane job I know color theory. Yellow is the first color that your brain is going to pick up on, so, and your eyes will pick up on. So I was so happy to gift her with some sunflowers, and of course now I have one for my own, and I'm going to enjoy that. And I also, you guys may know I've been harvesting a little bit of zucchini as well. So today I have, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a friend of mine, again, he's an elderly neighbor, he's by himself, and I have some farm fresh eggs which I had someone gift to me, and so I feel like I should be giving back, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make zucchini bread today, and I'm not going to make the big loaves. I'm going to make the smaller loaves. So if he wants to eat it all, or if he wants to share it with his lady friend, then of course I will have some too. So we, are going to have some farm fresh eggs and zucchini and some cinnamon for a little bit of spice in it, and it is going to be wonderful. And yet another thing I wanted to share with you, I have all of this gathered together, and you can, whether you are in the proverbial broom closet, or if you are very loud and proud. I was working in the house today and getting ready for the weekend, because I do love my weekends. And I always do weekly a thorough cleanse, not only cleaning the house, but a cleanse. And I thought, well, maybe I should be sharing some of the things that I do here to make sure that the vibes are really good and really groovy and all of that, because I like a nice, tidy, and groovy house. So what I've done this morning, and I hope you guys will humor me here, what I've done here is I'm going to share my recipe with you for a couple of three different like cleansing things, and it really depends on your situation. But what I do is when I'm actually cleaning a house and stripping the sheets, and of course I have a mattress pad, I have a spray that I spray on my bed, and it is it's not too florally, because you guys will quickly learn if you don't know that I don't like anything too sweet smelling, but I like for it to be fresh, and I like for it to be clean, and all of these things that I'm going to share with you are going to make any kind of negativity that you have, poof, go away. And you'll be able to go to bed at night, and it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, groovy thing. But what I did, so excuse me a moment here, is I boiled 2 cups of water and a generous pinch, and as you guys can probably see right back here, I grow my own rosemary, and I like to think some of my vibes are in it, but then I dry it and I have it right here. A generous pinch of rosemary. I pour 2 cups of boiling water over my rosemary here, and this is going to be the base for my spray. So what I'm going to do is grab this over here, you guys forgive me, and I have just another bowl with a strainer. And I'm just going to, and it's already cooled off. You guys need to let this cool off. And it's just that easy. And here's the base for your spray. So that's, you know, roughly, you know, 4 ounces. Now, if you want to, and I do have, if you want to put it in a plastic bottle, you know, they tell you don't put essential oils in a plastic bottle, and I absolutely agree with it. If you are making a very small batch, just enough, like I said, just to spray on your mattress pad, kind of waft in the room, the corners of your room after you do a cleanse, and you do a thorough cleanse, you might want to do a little bit of smudging. And again, you know, I do that too. But it's okay to make up a very small batch, use it up, you know, within a few days. I find it doesn't degrade plastic that quickly. I certainly wouldn't store it. But with that being said, I'm going to use my glass here. And you know, it's really, so excuse me if I make a mess here, guys. It's really just that easy. And there you go. And you know, I didn't use cheesecloth on it because a little bit of rosemary in here is not going to hurt a thing. And let's see, the next thing is, now you guys know I make my own extracts. So we're going to do, and this looks like, but see, it actually is an extract. And I have bigger bottles, but this is my go-to. I keep a small one in the fridge. 2 tablespoons of vanilla extract. And get this set aside. And 8 drops of orange essential oil. If I can get this off of here. Oh gosh, I don't think I'm going to be able to get it off. 8 drops. And another thing you can do is these little plugs here. If you take your lid here, you can actually hook it and pop it off of here. But with that being said, I'm going to keep mine on. 8 drops. And you know, this isn't a like hard and fast rule. 8 drops and 3 drops, if I can find it, of cinnamon bark, essential oil, and 2 drops of bergamot. Bergamot's very, very nice. I love bergamot tea. But anyway, 2 drops of bergamot and 2 drops of, if you have nutmeg oil, essential oil, that's great, or cardamom. Come on, come on. Put a little bit more in there. That's okay. That's okay. And you know what? There you go. It is really, really, oh, it's the wrong one. It's really just that easy. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful spray. You know, just give it a wee bit of a shake. And if you want to, you can put in a bottle this size, if you want to put like a clear quartz crystal, you know, just to kind of aid in the shaking up a little bit of this. And And again, just, you know, it's just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful spray. Now, another thing, now you guys are going to hear a woodpecker. I have a woodpecker, so my apologies if you hear that. Another wonderful combination. And with this, what I do is I go ahead and boil a wee bit of water. I think you guys can see, I have a very, very small slow cooker over here, and that's all I use it for. But a really good combination is lemon and lavender. I make my own, of course I make my own lavender essential oil, but if you have regular lavender and lemon and a wee bit of water, just kind of on a slow brew. It's fresh, it's, you know, it's very, very relaxing. But with that being said, if you are in a household where there might be a tense situation or two, and I hope that you're not, because gosh, we really don't need any drama. But again, in your very, very small slow cooker, and I guess I should probably just simply show you. And you know, if you guys, if they're, I don't know if they're still selling these, but I have found that when I go thrifting, I'm able to find all kinds of slow cookers and things like that. But it's just a very, very small one. I start with boiling water, and I will go ahead and pour boiling water in here. But if you find that you're in a tense situation, whether you have someone visiting that is negative, or if there are like arguments and fights and things like that, which gosh, I hope that's not happening to you guys, but a combination of lavender and valerian. Now put as many drops lavender as you want to. You only want to do a good pinch. And I wish I could say, oh, it's an ounce of this or that or that. But I just do just a slight pinch of valerian. You don't want your air to smell like gym socks. No, you don't. But the lavender will cut it. And in still celebration of our summer solstice in Litha, and I know I have spoken with you guys before about heliscrium. Heliscrium is an excellent essential oil to incorporate into your summer solstice because it is associated with sun, and of course you know it is a member of the daisy family. And so I hope that you guys go and celebrate and have a wonderful time. I'm going to take this time to, and as odd as it sounds, I find great pleasure in doing for other people. And I find great pleasure in, of course, sharing with you guys, but I love to share. So I'm going to be baking today, and I know it's ahead of time, and that, you know what, that's okay, because I guess it's one of those habits I developed growing up, because I grew up in hurricane country, and you know, I was always planned and prepared for a worst case scenario, and so we always just shared, and we always turned whatever situation that we were in into a party. So for me, it's, you know, totally normal to party on one side of the holidays and on the other side too. But stay happy and be safe and healthy, and I'm thinking about each and every one of you. And you know, no matter, like I said, no matter whether you have a sacred space or whether you are, you know, fairly quiet about how you celebrate, there are so many ways that you can do so. I have a great weekend, guys, and I'm going to say namaste. Goodbye, guys.